expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. With over 20 years of real estate experience and selling over 150 homes a year, Laura Sanders is the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Florida for 2021. Join us each week as we discuss how to make money through buying and flipping homes, to renting versus selling, and everything in between. To join the conversation, call in live 888-994-4995, Studio A.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. Every week, we talk about something that can help you make a little money, save a little money, sometimes just help you navigate this crazy world that we live in. So today, I'm going to tell you how you can get $10,000. Everybody likes money, right? So let's welcome Phil Wise with Wise Home Inspections, and we're going to talk about, I always get this wrong, My Safe Florida Home. So welcome, Phil.
Hi, Laura.
So
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. So first, tell us how we can get $10,000 for our homes.
Well, the money's run out, but it's going to start again on July the 1st. But they've got some new rules. But basically, if you don't have hurricane impact protection on your windows and doors, you can get up to $10,000 from the state. Free money, you don't have to pay it back. You have to put in $5,000 and they'll give you $10,000 if you qualify. And what they're doing this year, so they've run out of money from last year, but the state has given $200 million to start it again this year. But the way they're doing it this year, they're being a little bit more specific. So the first 2 weeks of July, the people who qualify are low-income homeowners over 60 years old. And then after July 16th, the next 2 weeks, it's going to be any low-income homeowners. After that, once we get to end of July, moderate-income homeowners who are over 60. Then it goes to moderate-income homeowners of any age. And then at the end of August, it goes to anybody in Florida who qualifies for that protection, regardless of income or age.
Now, what about as far as the value of your house? I mean, is that kind of sticks in that middle income, right?
I believe that it used to be the value of the home, the insured value had to be under $500,000. I believe it's now $700,000. If the insured value is under $700,000, you can qualify. But if you have a home that, as I said, if you don't have, and it has to be a single family home, I believe. That's how it was before, not condos. If you have a single family home and you don't have impact protection on all your windows and all your doors, then you can qualify for some free money.
What about
which, of course, is going to help you a lot with your insurance. Sorry.
Say it again?
Because the insurance premiums, are going up and up every year, every single year. And if you don't have those protections, you're going to be paying more insurance than you need to.
So what about roofs, though? Are they doing anything for roofs with this program? Because they were before.
That's a good question. If they were before, then I'm sure they're still going to continue that.
Okay. And then as far as if you already have some kind of protection on your house, right, then you wouldn't be eligible if you have, let's say you have accordion shutters?
Right. They're not going to let you to upgrade from accordion shutters to impact windows. But the way insurance works, if you're in Broward or Miami-Dade, every single window and every single door has to be protected in order for you to get the discount. So you might have windows done, but not the doors. So now get the doors done so that you can get that protection. If you're in Palm Beach, then you can get discount if you just have your windows done. But again, you'll get extra discount if you do the doors as well.
Wait, in Palm Beach, say that again? What's the deal in Palm Beach?
So in Palm Beach, you will get an insurance discount if you have impact protection on your windows, but not your doors.
Why is it different from one county to the next?
South Florida is different to the rest of the state. South Florida has, stricter rules, and it's considered a high velocity hurricane zone. So everything's a bit different in South Florida. We have stronger codes here than the rest of Florida.
Now, I always say this wrong, but the Florida Safe, My Safe Florida program, would it go up as far as to Orlando?
I believe it's for the whole state.
For the whole state. Okay.
Anybody in Florida. Yeah.
Okay. And is there a website that you recommend? Or
just
they
go
need
to
to get an inspection though. Sorry, say it again.
Go to mysafefloridahome.com and they'll send out somebody to do a wind mitigation inspection. You don't have to pay for it. They pay for it. So they'll send someone out to do that for you. And
Now,
they'll tell you what you qualify for.
are you on their list to help them to do these inspections?
We were, but we got too busy, so we're not doing them at the moment.
Okay. But
Yeah.
when it comes to insurance, right, to do these wind mitigations, because a lot of people that have been in their homes for a long time don't realize that they need to be doing a 4-point every year if the house is over 20 years old and doing a wind mitigation every 5 years. So is that something that you can do for them?
Absolutely, yeah. We do standalone 4-point inspections and wind mitigation inspections for anybody who needs them. If you're shopping around for insurance and your home is 20 years old or more, then you're going to need a 4-point. And as you say, the wind mitigation is good for 5 years. So if you haven't had one done for 5 years, or if you've updated and now you've got extra protection that you didn't have before, you need to get one so you can get those discounts.
Okay. And what's a good number for them to get a hold of you, or what's the best way to reach out to Wise Inspections to get that taken care of for their homes?
They can call 954-608-3366. That's 954-608-3366. Or go to our website, wiseinspections.com.
And how far do you guys inspect? Like, what counties do you do?
We do Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie.
Okay, so you go as far as Port St. Lucie then.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other kinds of tips or tricks that you could tell us in order for people to make sure that when they do these inspections, they're getting the best deals possible?
Well, for the wind mitigation, the other thing with insurance is a lot of insurance companies don't like insuring homes if the roof's more than 20 years old. Some insurance companies don't want to insure you if your roof is more than 15 years old, and some insurance companies won't insure any home more than 10 years old. So every insurance company has different rules and plays things differently. But certainly if your roof is more than 20 years old, then you really should be getting a roofer out to have it checked, or getting us out there to do a 4-point and let you know if the roof needs repairs or if it needs replacing, because that's the biggest thing that insurance companies are looking for now.
I've seen a lot of homes that have roofs over, like homes that were built in like 2000, and I see them getting insurance. So at what point do you, as an inspector, stop and say, I'm not going to give enough life for them to get insurance? Is it really based on condition, or do you really go by an age?
Yeah, good question. Well, it's based on both. It depends on the type of roof. Shingle roof is usually around 20 years, but sometimes they'll go to 25. Sometimes they fail before 20. So it does vary. Concrete tile roofs, we generally expect them to last 25 to 30 years. So it depends on the insurance company. Citizens, for example, if an inspector says that the roof has 5 years life left on it, then Citizens will generally be happy to insure the roof.
And then what about metal roofs? I've heard that they have 50 years of life. So how does that all work?
Right. Yeah, metal roof should last, about 50 years or so. Again, it depends on the insurance company. We had one case of a house with a metal roof that was 20 years old, and they had trouble getting insurance, but it was a $3 million home. So once you get into more expensive homes, again, insurance companies are a little bit more picky about who they want to insure. So, but you shouldn't really have a problem with the metal roof unless you're in a special category. I mean, again, they're on the water, $3 million homes, so it makes it more difficult.
Okay. Well, what I want to do is I want to go to commercial break. And then when we come back, I want to talk about, what you think about connecting to these roofs, solar panels, and what you think that does to the integrity of the roof. And if you recommend that to, in your own personal opinion, do you recommend that to clients? And we can talk about whether or not I recommend it to clients. So let's go to commercial break, check out our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll be checking in with Phil to talk about what does he think about these solar panels on roofs. Stay tuned.
Whether you're buying, selling, refinancing, or building your dream home, you have a lot riding on your loan specialist. Max Fish, a top 1% mortgage loan officer in the nation, will give you a same-day qualifying quote. Max Fish is committed to providing his customers with mortgage services that exceed their expectations, ensuring that you make the right choice for you and your family is his ultimate goal. Contact Max Fish today at 954-729-6933 or max.fisch@nwmcorp.net.
At JK Closing Attorneys, we do all of the same things that a title company does, but with the benefits of being a law office. We can help with residential real estate, short sales, commercial real estate, refinances, 1031 exchanges, and FIRPTA withholding.
Contact JK Closing Attorneys today at 954-332-3111. Again, that is 954-332-3111.
You have been watching Making Money with Laura. For more information, contact Laura Sanders at 954-650-0827 or visit her website at theloracell.com. And now back to the show.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. So we're here today with Phil Wise from Wise Inspections. He is one of the top home inspectors around Broward County, Palm Beach, and Dade County, and Port St. Lucie, apparently, too. And we're talking about inspections, and I'm curious to know what you think, Phil, about attaching these solar panels to your roof. I mean, is this a good idea?
Really good question, Laura. I used to be quite against them, and I think you have to be careful, like everything, which roofing company or solar company you use, because there are some people who come in and who put them up and disappear. But there is a company that I've come across called Bison Roofing, who have developed their own method of attaching the solar panels to the roof, and they claim they've never had a leak since they've started using this new method. So you need to do your research, and of course you don't really want to be doing it if your roof is, unless your roof's pretty new, because you're going to have to take all those solar panels off when you redo your roof. But if you've got a new roof or a relatively new roof, then it could be a good idea.
Okay, so, and then what do you think about, you said you were kind of against solar panels being attached to the roof, or what about solar panels and what it saves or what it costs to an owner? Because I feel like the cost sometimes is as much as what your electric bill would be. And I was told that at the end of like the 20 years when you're done paying for it, typically it doesn't really work anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's another thing you really have to consider is the how much money you're going to save over that time. So you would have to really do your numbers and make sure they're giving you the right information on that. Excuse me. So I think
Give you a glass of water,
it can be
but-
beneficial.
Say it again?
I mean, I think it can be beneficial. It depends how much you're paying for the solar panels. I think some of them, the numbers that I saw, they were actually the monthly cost was pretty similar, or maybe a little bit less than what they were saving in electricity. So they were coming out a little bit in front. But I'm sure it depends on which company you use and how much you're paying for those solar panels.
So with the solar panels, though, do you inspect solar panels, or is that a separate company to do that?
Yeah, no, we don't really inspect those. You need it's a pretty specialized thing.
And do you have somebody that you recommend to your clients for that?
Not especially, but I could probably, if somebody was interested, I can probably get somebody who like Bison Roofing out to take a look at them.
So, but the roofer is just looking at really the integrity onto the property, but not really looking at whether or not it's functional. So how do you know that it's functional for the owner, when, like for the new buyer?
Yeah, you'd need somebody to take electrical readings to see what sort of electrical output it's providing.
So this is something a little newer recently that we probably need to get somebody that does this. This is like a
Right.
new thing. Like, you know, every day in real estate, I think it's ever changing on the things that we have to, you know, endure. Like, for instance, we didn't see as many people scoping lines before. Now it's more of a common thing to scope lines. A lot of sellers, you tell them about polybutylene and they're like, poly what? And then they have no idea that they have that in their house, which is another thing that I find interesting, that it's really where the fittings come together, yet everybody wants them to remove it from the wall. When it's
Well, that's right, because the insurance companies don't want to insure you if you have polybutylene, so they want the whole thing replaced.
But how would they know that you didn't replace the whole thing if you do the fittings? Because they're not going to open up your wall.
No, they're not. I mean, sometimes you can see it in the attic if the plumbing goes through the attic, but it depends on, I mean, a lot of insurance companies are sending their own inspectors out to check things. Sometimes you can tell if the copper fittings going into the wall are really loose and wobbly. It's an indication there might be polybutylene there. But that does happen a lot of times where, I mean, people, like you say, people sometimes don't know they have polybutylene because there's copper stubs going into the wall, and so they have insurance.
And so as far as like for home inspections today, like what's like some of the most common themes, some of the things that you're seeing? What should homeowners look out for? Is there anything that homeowners should do to prepare prior to going to market?
Yeah, I mean, some of the common things for insurance are water heaters. I mean, obviously anything to do with water leaks. A lot of insurance companies, most insurance companies, don't want to insure you if your water heater is more than 15 years old. So you want to check the date on your water heater, make sure you don't have any leaks. Good idea to have a handyman come around and, you know, do caulking and painting and things like that. And definitely check how old your roof is. A lot of people have no idea how old their roof is. And you might have a concrete roof with a flat deck at the back. The concrete might be fine, but the flat roof might be at the end of its life. So definitely a good idea to have, you can have a home inspection company come out and do a full inspection.
You mean
or have
WISE
a roofer
inspections come out? You mean WISE inspections, not a home. You said WISE
Yeah.
inspections should come out.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
we
we
have to
come
be a
out
little biased
and
here.
We
We
do.
have to be a little biased here.
Absolutely. So you can, a lot of homeowners have no idea of the things that are in their house that need replacing or that are near the end of their life or are a concern for insurance companies. So definitely can be very beneficial. And of course, the biggest thing that is a problem when you're in a real estate transaction is surprises. So if you have an inspection done beforehand, then you can either fix it or let the buyers know so don't have to worry about negotiating afterwards because it's already done before it goes under contract. So it can certainly make things go a lot smoother.
When somebody is pulling a permit to put a water heater in, why is it not required, yet it comes up in so many home inspections, of a pan to be underneath the water heater?
Well, it's I think most jurisdictions do require it to have a pan underneath it, but it's a good safety thing. So we always recommend, unless it's in the garage, we always recommend that, or point out that they don't have a pan. But if they don't have a pan, we recommend they get a water sensor, which you can buy for about $20. So if it does leak, the alarm goes off, and hopefully it saves you from some major water damage.
Do you guys offer, any of those services to go out to do those for people, to connect some of these, water alarms? Do you do that?
No, we don't. We're not really allowed to work on properties we've inspected for 12 months, but we can always recommend, we have a list of reputable contractors and so on that we can recommend to people if they need any of those services.
Is that because it's a conflict of interest and that you might be telling people they need repairs in order to make more money?
Right. That's the idea behind it. There's some sense in it, but it's the same with every contractor. Any contractor goes in, sometimes they're going to tell people they need something they don't need.
Right.
So, but
sounds like
that's
therapy.
the way it is with home inspections. It's a little bit stricter.
Okay. Anything else that you want to recommend? Like, what would be the best way to get a hold of you if they were looking? How far in advance do you recommend people to do pre-inspections before they put their house on the market?
Well, the earlier the better. It gives you more time to get things done. And, if you're trying to find a contractor or somebody to do some work, and good contractors are usually pretty busy. So as soon as you are ready to, decided you're going to put something on the market, get a pre-listing inspection done so that you know exactly the condition of what needs to be done, and decide if you're going to do things or not.
So I heard you say before you put it on the market, so you have an accent. Where are you from, Phil?
Yeah, originally I'm from Australia. I've been here 20 years now, so
You think you're losing a little bit of it?
Florida weather.
You losing
What's
a little
that?
bit of it? Are you losing a little bit of the accent?
I don't know. Sometimes people say I am, but usually people say I'm not. But I think it's only when I go back there it gets stronger.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't think I'm ever going to lose it.
I'm sure the women love it. So what is your website, Phil?
Okay, you can find us at wiseinspections.com.
Okay, that's
And
pretty
the
easy.
telephone number is, pretty easy. Telephone number is 954-608-3366.
And this isn't just for the homeowners, but it's also for the realtors out there. For all you that are listening, Phil has a whole staff now. He's been building his staff recently, right, Phil? So you have
Right.
Inspectors all across. So you're pretty open and pretty easy to get an appointment with. Not you personally.
That's
but
right.
Your home
Yeah.
inspectors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have 5 inspectors currently. So I'll be 6 shortly.
oh wow,
So we
awesome.
can accommodate people pretty well. We always work very hard to fit people in, accommodate people's schedules. We do inspections on Saturdays. We have a lot of people who want inspections late in the day, so we try and accommodate people as much as we can to do them when they're needed.
And then you have Craig out there. He's out there, schmoozing everybody, all the realtors.
Right.
Okay. So, well, I want to
Yep.
thank you.
So Craig makes sure that everything gets done that everybody needs to get done when it needs to get done, and people get all the information they need. So we work very hard to communicate with everybody, both before and after the inspections, so that they get everything taken care of.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We run out of time so quickly, but if you're thinking about buying a home and you want to get a home inspection, you have Wise, I want to say home inspections, but Wise Inspections. They'll come out, inspect your home. They have pricing. They do termite inspections. They do mold inspections. They'll do, scoping the line inspections. They'll be able to set everything up to make sure that you're not buying a lemon before you buy it. And I want to thank everybody for listening. So if you need a great realtor, definitely give me a call, Laura Sanders with Remax Direct at 954-650-0827, or check out my website at Laura Sell, that's S-E-L-L, couldn't afford the S.com. And I look forward to seeing you all again or talking to you all again next week.
Thank you for tuning in for Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. To join the conversation, call us at the studio, 888-994-4995 Studio A, or contact Laura directly at 954-650-0827. Laura Sanders, a name you can trust.